right. Good morning, everyone. It is wonderful to see you all here, and I don't know if you had to drag yourselves out of the house or whatever with all this heat, but however you got here, or maybe it was great enthusiasm, which is wonderful. It's great to see you. So I just want to remind you again, please turn off any device that you have that could distract you. And those of you who are online, welcome, welcome. We're so happy to have you with us. And would you please do whatever you can to turn off and turn away from the things that distract you so that this is a wonderful experience for you today at home too. If you are joining us on Facebook or YouTube, you can click on the icon for closed captioning. That will help if you're having any trouble at all hearing the service. And now it is my pleasure to welcome Susan Clark and Jean Corbin today for our opening song.
Thank you, Marilyn. And if you would all stand, please. Get some energy in the room. And I believe we're going to have some lyrics for you. This is a song of mine, and it's called "The Truth Will Set Us Free." Here we go. Here we go. I will float my boat on an ocean of truth, where the current of faith keeps my course straight and true. I will not be swayed by the waves of doubt. I will live my life from the inside out. Let's do that again. I will float my boat on an ocean of truth, where the current of faith keeps my course straight and true. I will not be swayed by the waves of doubt. I will live my life from the inside out. I got harmony over here. I'm happy. What rings true for me may not work for you. Still, we all must honor other points of view. There is just one God speaking to us all. Although the words are different, Spirit heeds the call. Last verse. I will sail through this life with the grace of a dove, with an olive branch of peace and a heart full of love. I will not judge you, you will not judge me. Always and forever, the truth will set us free. Always and forever, the truth will set us free. All right, thank you, Marilyn Kirk over here. What?
Woo! Morning, everybody. Haha, there I am. Good morning, everybody. So glad to see you all. Thank you, Susan and Jean, for showing up. Jean, that is quite the cool-looking guitar you have this morning. I'm liking that.
I was dating this woman, and I was helping her clean her house for her relatives coming over, and I mentioned some artwork I'd seen in a guitar store, and she wanted to thank me for helping her, invited me for dinner, and when I sat down, she said, "Your guitar is in the other room."
Wow.
She's now my wife.
See how these stories work? We just don't know. Well, and there's a great example of showing up. Thanks for everyone that has shown up for this day and offered their love and support in the tech room, in the kitchen, in the bookstore, everywhere. So many different places. I also want to thank Marilyn today, who will be bringing us our reading and our vision and mission statement. And I get the special opportunity to thank Robin Rice Olmsted for being with us and leading us in prayer. And we have Greg holding high watch. And I just appreciate all of you everywhere. Welcome, and let us begin with prayer.
Good morning. So just taking a breath and just breathing into this moment. Just anchoring ourselves and being so grateful for the very breath that breathes us. For the very breath that is the breath of God, that is the all-knowing, the all-loving Spirit, by any name, God, Allah, Buddha, Jehovah. By any name, it is love. And I know that I am one with that love, with that peace, with that joy, with that serenity. And I know that that is true for each and every person in this room and within the sound of my voice and beyond. I know that we are one. And so I know that as we move into this service, this time, that it is truly a time of awakening. It is truly a moment to allow Spirit to have its way with us and speak in, as, and through us. Listen, as we listen to Reverend Gill, blessing his talk, knowing truly that he has been called by the divine to deliver this message, and that the time for it is right here and right now. And I bless the musicians, and I bless all who are in service, being so grateful for this village that raises us high. For as we raise high, we affect the rest of the world. So I just know that this service is truly just a celebration. We declare it a celebration of our love of God. And with that knowingness, we stand in the gratitude and we just allow it to be by saying, and so it is. Así es. Amen.
A celebration. Can we do that? We have some fun together? All right. All right. I actually went into Breeze, for any of you know, our events calendar is there, and I changed the title of Sunday mornings to Community Celebration. Just this week. Who knew? Who knew? Wanted to get more of that feeling. Wow. So we are here to celebrate ourselves, to celebrate Spirit, to celebrate what's possible, what's absolutely possible. So, first thing that I want to remind us of is that there's only one God, one life, one absolute, everywhere present, called by many things, but still the one. And that how we view the world, how we perceive things affects our life. Can anyone who may have been with us over the last 6 weeks in the class agree with that? Yeah, it might have come up a couple times, right? And we know that it's all love, whether it looks like a loving act or it looks like someone screaming out to us for love, it is still love. And so we just hold that to be true. And ultimately we know that somewhere deep down inside of each of us is that absolute perfection of Spirit. Never been touched, never been harmed, never been affronted in any way. And so we just hold to that truth and remind ourselves of that when we need to, that we are more than we think. So, I am so happy to see I see a lot of faces today that I haven't seen in a while, or anyway, it's just so great to have everybody here. And I just want to celebrate anyone who's with us for the first time, whether you're online, you can let us know on our website. or if you haven't been with us in a while, we just want to welcome you. And we want to bless the whole thing by blessing one another. And what I want us to do is actually receive this from others. Okay? So we're gonna bless each other with this reality. We see you.
We see you.
We know who you really are.
We know who you really are.
You are a divine emanation of spirit.
You are a divine emanation of spirit.
You are absolute love showing up right here, right now.
You are absolute love showing up right here, right now.
And we are blessed to be with you.
We are blessed to be with you.
Welcome to Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. And Marilyn will help us continue our celebration.
It's time for our vision and statement. I'm saying wisdom statement. I've got wisdom on my visions, and I have it on my mind today. Oh, here's mine. 1 second, please. It's a problem with not having it on hard copies. Okay, vision and mission. Vision, transforming our world with the power of love in action. And our mission, loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest self. And I am fortunate enough to do a reading this morning, and I read this twice this month, and I'm not sure if I read it in the same place or not, but I thought, okay, I was reading it again this morning. I thought, this is what I'm going to read to you all, because it strikes home for me. And it's from our Science of Mind for this month, and every month there is an article from the archives by Ernest Holmes, and I always, it's just always wonderful. So this is from Ernest Holmes' writing. There is a mind stuff in every cell of the body that responds to our thinking and, in a sense, becomes confused when we think negatively. For instance, let's take the ordinary activity of eating. We sit down with a fork in one hand and a newspaper in the other. Perhaps there is a startling headline, 20 people killed in airplane crash, train runs off track, or a new war started somewhere, or someone suddenly drops dead from heart trouble. Everything is wrong. We have the newspaper in one hand and a fork and a spoon in the other. And the intelligence in every morsel of food that goes into the physical system and the intelligence in the cells and the organs of the physical body are confused by the messages they receive from the newspaper we are reading. Our minds transmit all these negations to our process of digestion. We really are saying nothing is right. Everything is wrong. There is nothing but calamity and bad luck and misfortune everywhere. And so we get an echo from the inside of us which says, nothing is right. I don't even know how to digest this food. Then we get a funny feeling in our stomach and we say, oh, my poor stomach, I don't digest my food properly. I must find another kind of diet. And we try a new diet. But we still have the spoon or fork in one hand and the newspaper in the other. And the new diet doesn't agree with us any better than the old. Remember, the mind stuff in you is combining with the mind stuff in your digestive tract. And whether or not this food is going to properly assimilate will depend largely on your thinking. Now let's reverse the whole process. Sit down quietly and calmly at the table. Begin to think how wonderful it is that we have the privilege of eating. How wonderful it is to realize there is an intelligence within us that knows how to digest this food. We really haven't anything to do with it anyway. A power greater than we are is doing it, and how happy we are that this is so. Then the messages that go from our conscious thinking through the food and into the subconscious reaction of the physical body will be happy ones. Thank you.
I don't have a newspaper, but I've got my iPhone. It's just the same deal, right? Even more so. Well, he needs no introduction, but I'll introduce him anyway. Here is my musical pal, Gene Corbin, with us this morning. And Gene and I go back a long way. He's one of the first people I met when I moved to New Mexico in 1988. So I was just telling him it's nice to have somebody here who knows me well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a comfortable feeling.
It is a comfortable
Always
feeling.
has been.
Yeah.
So I was thinking the other day about God creating such a myriad of life and humans, and there's really only one being going on, but we are aspects and we communicate. And somebody said, I wonder why God did that. And my thought was, he was afraid for a little bit that another being might think he's crazy talking to himself all the time. So he made all these expressions, and we can talk to each other. It's like, oh, there, I'm not crazy now. I love it when my brain does things like that. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my soul go deeper, my soul go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, when I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my love go deeper, my love go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right where I am, I pray.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Right where I am. So turn to somebody and say, I am right where I need to be. I'm right where I need to be. And turn to somebody else and say, you're right where you need to be. Wow, okay. We're right where we need to be. So this month, we've been looking at speaking truth to circumstances. This is the 5th week of the month. So the best idea I had was, let's just review what everyone else said, because then I won't have to say as much, right? No, that's not what I did. But I did want to highlight kind of what's come up over the month, because some really good stuff has shown up. So for those of you who might remember, the first week of the month, who spoke? Anybody remember? Reverend Kamatara. And she shared this with us. So we know that if we are looking for actual change, which is what we want when we're speaking truth to power, when we want change that is high impact, long-lasting, and long-term sustainable, we know that we have to have a narrative shift. We have to have a narrative shift. So we didn't change any of the circumstances. We changed what we said about it, what we believed about it. And then Reverend Abigail flew in from the hinterlands. And she asked us to really look at what we've accepted to be true from society. And she challenged us with this. Am I willing to go someplace that is uncomfortable to be in order to be the truth that I came here to be on this planet? Man, am I willing to go someplace that's uncomfortable to be in order to be the truth that I came here to be on this planet? On week 3 of the month, I shared with you my own personal parable of the wheel and really talked about how when we choose to live in the moment, gifts show up that we would otherwise have totally missed. Even in the midst of whatever it is, whatever that circumstance is in front of us. And then last week, any of you who were here know that Yvette blew it out of the park. Yep. And she was talking about being a wise warrior. And she said this. She said, what do we know? What do we know more than anything is that God is all there is. God is all there is. And no matter how ugly, how aggressive, how painful the outside world or set of circumstances looks, there is the divine. Wow. There is the divine. So all these different circumstances, it's all a matter of remembering what's real. What's really in them. What's really the truth. And that's pretty simple, right? Okay, I'm not getting much reaction out of that. Which way is it? It's simple but not easy. Ah, that's it. That's it. It's simple but not easy. So how many of us have been standing somewhere, we're in our life, and some set of circumstances show up and we are convinced that now we can't go wherever it was we thought we were going? Never. Never, okay. Other than Mike. Yeah, that thing that shows up and we go, I don't know how to get around this. That's just too crazy. I think that whatever my goal is, whatever my happiness place is, whatever the thing is I'm seeking is on the other side of whatever that is. And I can't get through it. So what do we do? You ever get that sore spot on your head right here? Because you keep banging into it. You keep knocking on it. The old adage that if the only tool I have in my toolbox is a hammer, then every problem is a nail. So I just boom, boom. And it's still there. Sometimes it doesn't even crack. Sometimes nothing happens. It's just there. But what if we were the wise warrior that Yvette talked about? What if we stepped back and breathed for just a moment and went, whew, what is this really? What is this really? And that wise warrior takes a moment and examines and says, sure, we can go into this and we can fight. But what we really want to do is figure out how to solve this situation. So then we have to take a moment and examine what's really going on. What is it that I'm seeing? Is this something that really is holding me back? Is this something that I have decided should hold me back? Is this something that just needs a little extra love? And we take that moment and we say, what is the truth here? So have you ever found yourself not moving forward because you were needing to teach someone else a lesson? No, nobody's done that, right? No. So Robin is with us this morning, and so now I get to quote her. What she says to me is that those other drivers on the road are not my students. I can't teach them a thing, no matter how loud I yell in the car, or how upset I get, or any of that. So that idea that somehow I need to make someone else understand. I need to get it. I need to see it. I need to understand my way. We do it in so many different ways, right? So many different places, so many simple things. Whew. Anybody in here live with other people? Yeah. Yeah, that makes it tough, doesn't it? Whew. There's sometimes when I have trouble living with myself because of that. I'm still like, why did you do that? But we're trying to show somebody else how their actions, how their thoughts, how their whatever it is, actually, how whatever it is I think that they're thinking is affecting me. How whatever it is I have decided that they are doing is affecting me. And is that true? I think it's debatable. So, when I was thinking about this talk, what came up for me immediately was a song from Ricky Byers and the Agape Choir called "The City of God." I don't know if you've heard this or if you know it, but my good friend Leon Campbell has sung this many times. And it says this: I was standing before a wall that had shut out the light, but your love, O God, restored my sight. I can believe in myself again. I was standing before something that seemed to cut everything off. And when I let go, I could see again. I could see beyond it. And the next time it comes around to that part of the song, it says, I was standing before a wall that wasn't there at all. It wasn't there at all. What are the walls that aren't there at all? What are the things that we have? What are the circumstances of our lives that are really all of our own making? Very interesting. The School of Life, I found this quote from this group called the School of Life. A deep association has been forged between hope and danger, along with a corresponding preference to live quietly with disappointment rather than more freely with hope. My own circumstances, my own wall, my own block. And we do that, I think we do it out of fear. I think that's where it comes from. Jennifer Williams says, succeeding doesn't match our limiting beliefs about ourselves. So sometimes we try to create our world that matches what we already believe. And isn't that what we say? Our thoughts create what is. We literally have a place in ourselves where we believe something someone said, something as a result of some event in our lives, and then we begin to believe some story about that about ourselves, and guess what? Pretty soon, that limiting belief becomes the truth. That becomes the wall that isn't really there. And it only disappears, it only goes away when we can breathe, step back and breathe, and let God, let Spirit remind us of who we really are, of what's really important. So this last week, we finished a spiritual growth opportunity in the form of a class called Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. And I want to share with you that the last time we were together, we had the chance for people to share something about what they had learned about themselves, what had come up for them in the process, what was revealing itself as a result of this time together. Man, wow. We had some really good laughs. We had a few tears. We had some really insightful things. And it was all coming from that place of people knowing that they were in a safe place to share and that they had something important that was coming up for them, something that was calling them to move forward, to shift. It was around releasing a story. It was around reclaiming power. It was around stepping into the unknown in the safety of a community. Walls came down as realizations came forward. And the thing that really struck me was nobody talked about Nobody had a story about what other people did, or how their life was stopped because of somebody else in their life. There may have been a touch on, I had this experience, but it moved directly from there to, and this is where I am. And this is where my power is. This is where I can show up. And it was so empowering to witness that and to be a part of it and to just see the brilliance. To see the brilliance, to see the possibility of each person standing in that. So when we find ourselves in this situation, what do? In that place where there's something there. So I want to take a moment and kind of try something. I want us all to just, if you're comfortable, close your eyes. Just relax where you are. No, it's okay. And just take a minute and reflect on any block or barrier that seems to be present from circumstances in your life right now. Any place that feels like it's holding you back somehow. What is it? Name it. In what way is it hindering you? Does it appear to be something coming from the outside, or is it our own story? Is it your own story? Now take a moment, and when we think of that barrier, that wall, ask yourself, how is it serving me? What am I getting from it? Does it feel safer behind it? Why do I not declare the truth to these circumstances? Now take a moment and see if you can find the truth to be spoken to those circumstances. Ask yourself, what is true in this situation? What is true about this? And speak those words to that. Allow that wall, that barrier, to simply dissolve away as the mirage that it is. Allow yourself to feel into that new space where you're free. Allow yourself to feel that freedom, to feel that tinge of fear because it's unknown, and embrace it. Because that is where your power is. That is where we're called to be. That is what this whole month has been about. And that's finding the way to see beyond, to take ourselves beyond whatever it is, to move out of the safety net of hiding, to move out of the safety net of believing it's everyone else's fault, moving out of the safety net believing I just can't do it. So as you just allow that thing to dissolve in front of you, allow it to disappear. And as it disappears, come back into the room and feel what it feels like. Feel what it feels like to have that gone. It's time to believe in ourselves again. It's time to take that step into the beautiful city where God is, where Spirit is, where life is. Are you ready to reclaim who you've always been? Yes. Yes. Reclaim it. Hold it. Know it. The power is right here. And the grace is everywhere present. So whether it feels like we have the power or not, there's always the love and grace of Spirit which allows it to be. So, I appreciate the enthusiasm a moment ago. And I just want us to take that with us. Just take it with us. Yes. So let's take a moment and anchor this time in prayer. Hold it so that we can really feel it in our bodies, in our lives. And know that it's not for someone else. It's not for some other person. It's for each one of us. So if practitioners and ministers want to stand and just hold space, just anchor the room. We allow Spirit to show up in so many different ways and hold us, and we just honor that. So right here and right now, I am knowing that there is only one life, one love, one Spirit. That love is my life, it's your life, it's every life, it's all life. Every circumstance, every appearance is still God. It's still the divine. It's still showing up as Spirit. So how can it be in my way? How can it be stopping any one of us? Because the divine does not stop us. The divine is constantly conspiring for our full and whole expression. The divine is always conspiring for our whole expression as individuals, as a community, as a world. And so I know that we walk from this place today lifted up, that we are able to see ourselves in a new way, that each one in this room knows that they are the perfection of Spirit, knows that anything that appears to be in front of them can be released, can be let go of, can be shifted. And so we just remove the veil. We remove whatever the thing is, and we declare it gone. We declare it gone altogether. And know that every person sees with the clarity of Spirit, with the love of Spirit, with the joy of Spirit. And every one of us is anchored in the yes. Yes, I believe in myself. Yes, I believe in us. Yes, I believe in the story that's true. The one that says, I am whole. I am perfect, I am complete. The one that says, all things are conspiring for my good. I believe in that. I trust in that. And I give thanks for that. And in gratitude and in joy, I just release this prayer knowing that it is done. It is done right now. So together we release it and say, and so it is. Amen. Ashe. Where'd it go? I lost somebody. You?
Before we do the offering today, Gil asked me to just share a couple words about some stuff that came that we shared in the newsletter with you this Thursday, and I'm going to begin on a personal note because it's been really important to me and it's very tied with the RGCSL community. So, do we have the slides, Hannah? Okay, so that's today's date, and we'll go to the next slide there, Suzanne. All right. So as most of you know, I'm the president of our board, and I really appreciate that. More important vocation to me is being a father. And I've adopted, most of you know, I've adopted 5 sons over the years. And on July 8th, my youngest, Miklo, was rushed to the emergency room. And he was put in intensive care that day, and Mike and I went to visit him before service today, and he's still there. Today is day 23, and so it's been a long saga. And he's in stable but critical condition, but he's been really blessed with tremendous care from doctors and nurses. One of the primary supports I've received has been from this community. There's been a constant stream of prayer and support, and I've had care packages. I've been too tired many nights to go home, and care packages have appeared, and the consistent check-ins and genuine compassion. I want you to know that RGCSL's reach actually extends all the way to, where did we go camping last weekend?
Bonito Hollow.
Oh, Bonito Hollow in Rio Doso. And I had just gone, go back, not yet. I had just gone back. I had just gone to the hospital, drove down because I had a 36-hour break to go camping. And I showed up with a cardboard, a cheeseburger in a cardboard box and a box of Bugles. And Barbara and Norm were there. And let's just say that I feasted well the rest of the weekend. I think the cheeseburger actually ended up going to Barbara's chickens. So, did the chickens enjoy it? Okay. So, and the constant check-ins and the emails and all that have been really, really heartwarming and have sustained me and given me strength through all of this. So, there's a sample of some of the constant prayers. I've gotten several from Christine, Greg. Oh my God, you get a thing from Greg. You get all these. I don't know they had enough of those stickers over there. And Hasiel is Miklo's girlfriend, and Carmela has been. I'll tell you more in just a second, but she's been, helping us with transportation and doing all that. So I have a flow of these on my phone that I've received, and I know that I've been cared for and supported. So I know that in this. We don't actually canonize people, but I'm making a proposal. Lisa Kerr has changed to Blessed Lisa in my phone because she's been my point of contact. I send her an update, and she sends it out to all the practitioners and a bunch of other prayer partners. And Carmela is now Saint Carmela. Carmela's been there practically every day, sometimes twice a day, and just helping out. And I just sent Miklo's girlfriend to have a couple days break, and I know we can do that because Carmela and I, and then occasionally other family members will be there. So I just feel tremendously blessed by this community. And so if you decide to want to call her St. Carmela along with me, that's fine. And Lisa's sick today, but she's definitely blessed in my mind. So what I've come away with the last 3 weeks with a lot of pride and a lot of gratitude is that we're a very caring, compassionate, loving community. And I have rarely felt as supported and loved by any group of individuals as I have by this particular family over the last few weeks. And we are definitely vibrant, creative, vital, and while it may not seem so in the midst of the finances flourishing, we are flourishing. And I'm going to say a little bit more about that now as your board president. So thank you to John Kirk. John was at the board meeting about 2 weeks ago, and John said we may need to take a look at our finances and see where we're at. So thank you, Gil. I'm usually on vacation in June, July, and August, but Gil called the next morning and said we probably need you and your help. So been back on the job, and we are in a little bit of a financial bind, not undoable. And people would certainly want to know how we got here. First off, our overall income as a community has dropped significantly since COVID and all of that. We've never quite regained where we were, though since Gil has become our minister, we're growing. So it will go there, but that's been a trend that we've had. We did work with an interim minister. We weren't meeting like this. We didn't have this many people in the sanctuary every Sunday morning like we do now. And then the transition with a new minister and feeling what that's all about. We haven't had to do that in about 11 years. So, and finally, attendance has dropped during the summer, and so has donations. And that's where the real issue came, is that our summer giving really dropped significantly, and we had not prepared for that. So that's how we got to where we are. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so this is from the bulletin, and our bank balances are low. We do have $5,500 in savings. Our primary checking has $66.85, and our bookstore account, that figure is a little misleading because we have a new system, and we received a generous donation for that. So $900 of that's going to be going to pay for that. So our bookstore account's about $233. Our remaining July expenses were pretty hefty, not unexpected. We knew that this was all part of the budget. John's going to yell at me because I left the rent there, but the rent actually goes August 1st. So Gil and I decided that it was only 1 day difference, John. It's not good accounting practice, but we left it there because we got to send that check tomorrow. Our musician speakers fee is very low. Salaries for the second half of the month we pay on the 15th and on the 30th, and so those are the salaries that we have that are due. And then just a small miscellaneous amount. But anyways, our total July expenses are about $11,000, and so we had a deficit of about $4,400. Okay, so and then we also took a look at August, and you'll see everything that's there. Again, we have to pay rent. I know, John, but it's due September 1st. So okay. Anyways, and then we just had a class, and we have some fees and stuff for that. So it's all there. This was in again the thing. So our projected budget is about $18,000, and our projected income based on summer giving is only about $12,500. So we needed to let you be aware of that and know that. So our projected deficit for August, and it was potential. It doesn't mean that has to be the deficit, but would it be about $6,450? So We didn't sit around. We've been working. And so let's go to the next slide. The board has already taken some actions. First off, part of the money we had in our checking account was for the Hefferland grant, which is for new technology. And since that's for a specified purpose, we had no choice but to move that to savings so that that money is used for the purposes it needs to happen. So that's part of the savings account. We also maintained a $1,000 additional reserve. We've gained clarity on our expenses and available financial resources. John and Marilyn and Nancy have played a tremendous role in that, along with some stewardship from Gil. And we are committed to engaging in transparency with you. There'll be no secrets about where we're at, what we're doing, or how things are going. We'll let you know exactly as we proceed forward. And there's an email going out tomorrow to the community, and it'll have more details, especially in terms of ways you can help us out. And on the next slide, I have some really good news for you already on some things that have already happened. But we had an emergency board meeting on Friday when we took those actions. And we're going to have a special short-term task force where that'll be part of the invitation. And we're going to have a meeting, probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours, led by Gil and, Gil and somebody. And probably me, but anyways, we're going to have a meeting and we're going to just brainstorm any ideas and solutions that come to mind. And we're going to create those as a list, have a little discussion about that. And then we will engage with discussion around all of those at the August board meeting. The August board meeting is going to be extended. It'll be both in person and virtual. And we're going to invite community members to join us, for that so that you can know what's going on if you'd like to know. So here's the good news. Let's go to the next slide. So since this word went out on Thursday, we've already received a $1,000 donation. You'll remember that the balance we had was $4,400, so put a dent in it. Two fabulous community members who are sitting here today, Peter Ennin and Darlene have offered a $1,000 matching grant opportunity. And so if people will donate and do that, that will turn into $2,000 and get us closer to where we need to be for the end of July. And so after service, make sure you thank them because that was really kind. And we also have received the offer of a $5,000 interest-free loan, which at the moment we're not moving on because we want to see the bigger picture. We want to cover the July expenses, and then we want to see how all that works out. We also want to see what happens when we put the letter out, okay? So some things are happening. We're going to weather this quite nicely. And as Gil likes to keep reminding me, this is it's an invitation. It's an opportunity for prosperity and abundance in ways we haven't even envisioned yet. So, unfortunately, the only line I remember from your sermon this morning was Robin's line, but it's all good. So. The drivers are not. Anyways, let's keep going. So what are we going to continue to do? You'll get an email tomorrow. It offers some ways you can help us out and step up. We'd really appreciate any way you can do that. I'm going to be doubling my pledge, Nancy, on Tuesday. So that'll help a little. We're going to have the task force, traditional out of the box, and we're not looking for just short term. We're looking for the long term here to really move us in that direction, and anything is on the table. And so we'll see. The August board meeting, as I told you, will be extended community members, and every reasonable option will be considered. Okay, so I want to let you know that I see this with a lot of hope, a lot of possibility, and a lot of strength in terms of where we're going to go. And I see this as a bump in the road. And hey, what the heck? I'm not supposed to learn from the drivers on the road anyway, so it works out all right. So I think there's a thank you slide, and then we have one more piece of official. So thank you in advance for your compassion, understanding, generosity. Please understand that your Board of Trustees is on top of this. We're going to communicate with you in the weekly newsletter. We'll let you know what's happened. And sometimes we won't share a donor's name or something like that, but if we receive a donation, you'll know that, okay? And if you're down in Rio Doso and you need food, ask Barbara. Okay, that's another lesson from today. All right, so we have one piece of official business that we decided was too important for the board meeting itself. And would you bring up the next slide, please? Okay. as you all know, we had our first drumming circle this week, and it went extremely well. And you have no idea the stuff that Sherry Noon is doing in our community and doing all of that. So the Board of Trustees would like to nominate Sherry Noon. Come on up, Sherry. Okay. Now, you haven't been elected yet, though you've already dressed for the part, so that's, okay. She was going to do pom-poms and all that, but I said low-key. Low-key is good. So we want to nominate Sherry as our official RGCSL cheerleader. Do I hear a second from the... All right, okay. Oh, she has a cheer. Okay. I think that's my cue to leave. Thank you all. And if you want to ask questions of us afterwards, we'll be happy to do that. Go right ahead.
Wow.
Hold on. Wait.
Thank you. We need an official little cheer. And as the official cheerleader, cheer with me. RGCSL. RGCSL. Rio Grande CSL. Rah, rah. Go, go, go. Yay!
Okay. Okay. Yeah. We've got cheerleaders. We've got everything going on. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for your attention to all of that. And
I wanted to say something because always when things come up in my life that seem to be a little bit.
do you want to come up?
Yeah, sure. My name's Mike, and can you hear me?
Mike, we need a mic right there. Mic for Mike.
Okay, that's better. I've been a religious scientist now, I can say 27 years. And anytime that challenges come up for myself or within the congregation, I always turn back to the words of Ernest Holmes. And I want to read this morning because I did that as part of being kind of an associate member of the board when these things came about this last week. And I hope you, if you want this sent to you, so that you can pray upon these great words of Ernest Holmes in the coming weeks. He says, "Now, to create this activity, something more than thought is essential. Not that it does not come first, but one who has this thought of activity will naturally manifest in vigorous, energetic movement, which helps to produce a spirit of activity in his business and everything he undertakes. Wherever you see a man who does not move, then you will find one without thought and whose thought is inactive. The two always go together." And that's from Creative Mind and Success by Ernest Holmes in 1919. Over 100 years ago, this great visionary put that to pen. So what many of us that have been in this movement for a long time say is, yes, we have to think the right thoughts. But Holmes always said, treat and move your feet. We are now in the move your feet phase, and we're going to put every energy that we have forth to see a turnaround in this. I am convinced. Thank you.
So let's just take a moment. Let's take, whether it's literally or symbolically, our gifts that we have to offer this morning. And just know the truth. Know the truth. I am abundant, and I give from my abundance. I am prosperous, and I give from my prosperity. I am blessed, and I give from my blessings. My blessings of spirit are as abundant as the stars, and so I give and receive generously, and so it is. And as that is true for each of us, it is true for all of us together.
All right, brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
We got to get you all going now. I want to hear your voices. It's not too difficult. Now I got to teach you your part. Okay, your part goes like this. I just got to pray. I just got to pray. I just got to pray. Oh, I just got to pray. Let's try that. Y'all ready?
I just got to pray. I just got to pray.
I just got to pray. When I'm feeling down and out.
I just got to pray.
When I'm feeling down and out.
I just got to pray.
When I'm feeling down and out.
I just got to pray. I just got.
When I'm feeling happy.
Just got to.
When I'm feeling happy.
Mr. Gene Corbin
Stay with us.
doing one of his own original songs. Yeah.
Nice.
I had to go on a Sunday morning someplace other than here, but with the same idea. And it was Saturday night, and I didn't know what I was going to do. And I sat down with my guitar and was just hanging out, and I was just my fingers just started doing that, and then I heard the words, and I went, congregation's going to sing that part. And it just keeps growing and growing. Thank you all, especially getting up and everything. That's pretty good. I was about to say I was back at a Baptist thing.
Yeah.
For just a second. That's nice. I like it.
It was either a Baptist thing or a bar thing. I wasn't clear exactly.
Both preaching bars.
Woo! So, having said that, use this one. So, having said that, let's pray. Let's bless these gifts, knowing that they are perfect, that they are blessing this community, and that this community is a blessing. So we give thanks for each and every ounce of love that's represented here, and every ounce of love that flows in and through and as this community. And so it is.
So it is.
So someone this week wisely pointed out as they stood in this room that this room is filled with chairs. But that the community is what we all celebrate. And so I'm just grateful that we're all here celebrating that. And please join us in the other room, join everyone, come together, have a little bit of food. Always remember that you're welcome to bring some to share, and we can share that time together and enjoy. Also, everyone's invited to have a little prayer afterwards in our prayer garden right over here. And just allow that joy or whatever it is that needs to come up in you to come up, and allow it to be dealt with in prayer for a few minutes. What else do we have? I think that's... Yes, thank you. Well, that'll come up actually in the next piece, so that'll be all right. So I believe right now we should have Lou coming forward with our announcements. Thanks.
A little awkwardness there, but welcome again to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. Thank you, Susan and Jean, for the Band of Enchantment reunion tour.
That was the name of the band.
And thank you, Gil. I'm sorry. And thank you, Gil. Beautiful. Thank all of you so much heart today. There's a couple of new book groups that are operating. One will be there are two spiritual discussion groups. One is from the Taos Study Group, and that's facilitated by Alicia Hanlon. They'll be meeting Fridays on Zoom from 11 to 2:30. They're tentatively started to begin on August 11th, and they'll be reading from the Ernest Holmes Papers, Volume 1. So that's Fridays on Zoom from 11 to 12:30.
That's until 12:30.
Yeah, 11 to 12:30. Yes, 11 to 12:30. Also, A Course of Love book discussion, and that's on between 4:30 and 5:30, and it begins on August 3rd. It's facilitated by Nancy Bowers, and it's both synchronistically, I learned that in graduate school, but it's on Zoom and in person together. There'll be, it has themes of unity, relationships, dialogue, and creativity. It meets again from 4:30 to 5:30, beginning August 3rd, and it will be immediately followed by Nancy also facilitating the Course in Miracles group from 6 to 7, again, both on Zoom and in person. Now I'd like to bring up someone from the last class, Grace Woods, who'd like to talk to you a bit.
Go, Grace. Surprise.
Oh, boy. Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, hello. Okay, so I just completed the last course, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Mind, and that's why I'm standing up here right now. I'm going to take a deep breath because I'm really like, ooh, it's a different perspective to be with you in this way. Thank you, Gil. Thank you, everybody, and Jean and Susan, the music, and this community has just absolutely changed my life over the last year, and the class just blew me away. And so, as a vision and as an offering for, as a big love offering, we're looking at creating some sort of a healing. I mean, there's healing happening here all the time, isn't that the truth? And so, personally, what I'm offering is my healing gifts and talents in the form of foot reflexology. And see me after, and I'll tell you all about reflexology. It's an awesome, ancient healing modality. And so, starting on August 13th, after service, after social hour, I'm going to be giving mini sessions and tutorials to show you how you might be able to heal yourself on a physical, emotional, spiritual level through this incredible wisdom. And ongoingly, there might be the possibility of more of us sharing those kind of gifts and talents. And so I'm calling forth all the angels, and all the healers to join with me in sharing your talents. So see me afterwards. My affirmation for the class was, I am who and what I was always meant to be. And such a gift, and I'm just so grateful. And any love offerings that come out of this will go directly to the center. And so it is. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. I'd like to call up Marilyn Kirk for an announcement, too.
Actually, I have two announcements. One of them has to do with a letter that recently went out. It's a mid-year letter that many of you will receive. If you haven't already received it, you'll receive it this week, with a wonderful letter from Reverend Gill describing how things have been going since he's been here, and also a mid-year statement of your giving and such, just so you have that as a reflection of where you are at this point in time. So I just wanted you to be on the lookout for that. It's actually a real letter. It's not an email. And then the other thing I wanted to invite all of you to participate in is we are going to be having a community retreat, which will happen the end of October. And last year we did a practitioner retreat, sort of as a kickstart to our new minister and all the things that we could envision and see what was happening in the future. So we're having a meeting tomorrow in the evening at 6:30 on Zoom. And there are a number of us who are already on the retreat team, and we're inviting anybody else who would like to participate in doing the planning. We already have, a number of folks, but we're very, very grateful to hear your input and hear your insight. And it's going to be for all of our community. It will be at the Pecos Retreat Center, which is where we went last year, and some of you have been there before. And we're going to be designing a retreat experience that embodies our vision and our values. And we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of restorative laughter and fun. And we'll have things like walks and writing and crafts and reflection and plenty of laughter. So I hope you will consider being on the team with me. And I do have a sign-up sheet that I will have at the back here. It actually looks like this, has some lines on it. Just put in your name and an email address, and I'll send you out the agenda and the link to the Zoom meeting tomorrow at 6:30. There's also another sign-up sheet in the social hall if you miss it on the back here. And so I just really appreciate your attention and thank you. And I also want you to put on your calendar the end of October because it's going to be a whole lot of fun. Thanks.
Thank you, Marilyn. Those retreats, I've been a board member previously, eons ago, and those retreats are so important and so healing and so wonderful. And it's just wonderful that we're having a whole community retreat. Next, there's a picnic this upcoming weekend. Lisa Kerr has been running this and setting this all up, and this is it. It's happening this weekend. There's also a Labor Day picnic at the Kiwanis Open Space Center in the Albuquerque foothills. And I'd also like to take a minute to thank our administrator again, administrator, practitioner Nancy Bowers, for the work she's done on the website. The website now incorporates the bulletin. I would really recommend that you get the bulletin every week. I would. It just has all this information, and you're not going to remember exactly what you heard and quickly announced. All the details are there in the bulletin and now also in the website. You can get the weekly bulletin from the website, and now you can get the bulletin again in another way from the website. Everything is there, and appropriate links are there as well. Lastly, I'd like to talk about there's community visioning for the entire center today. It'll be right after break time in the social hall. First into the social hall, and then please come back here. This will be one of two visionings. And visioning is so important. It gets you the opportunity to believe and feel what is and what you want the center to be. Gil is the most visioning minister I've ever seen, and thankfully so. we visionings for everything. I talked to him about doing an event one time. He said, let's vision on that. And we did. So Mark has asked me to ask everyone if you could please raise your hands if you're planning on coming to the visioning. We want to reconfigure the chairs here, and so please raise your hands if you're planning on coming. Let's leave your hands up so counting can be done. Okay. And lastly, in the words of Coleman Barks, thank you for the quality of your listening.
All right. What a full day. So, just taking a moment to once again to breathe and to just recognize truly that we of ourselves do nothing, that God has got it, that no matter what it is, it's our turn to pray, no matter what's going on. So we just acknowledge the bounty and the goodness and the graciousness of Spirit. We just acknowledge it, knowing that we are not separate from it, that it is in me, that it is in as and through me, and that it lives in each and every one of us, and that we have come to share a gift, and that each and every person in this room and hearing this prayer and beyond is part of the vision. So we congregate to form and to allow that vision to live through us. And we take it out into the world, truly knowing that there is no wall in front of us. And we just go forward in that celebration, in that love, and in that knowingness that we are the change. We are the peace. We are the love. And so we take it out into the world and we just rock the love this week. And for this and so much more, I'm grateful and thankful, and we just allow it to be. And so it is. Amen.
I sent a letter out a couple weeks ago to all of the CSLs, so I'm assuming that my idea of robbing banks has been rejected by the board here. It's really good to be back here. It's good to see the familiar faces and the new faces also. Thank you for having me back. Thank you, Susan, for inviting me.
Of course.
And this place means a lot to me. I've got so much going on Sundays, and I just can't get here as often as I used to. But I carry you all with me, especially after this morning. I said this before playing here. I leave here, and the rest of the week is okay. Amen. I still think fundraising by robbing banks is a good idea.
And would you stand if you're able? Let's go out with a closing song. And this is one of my songs. I actually wrote this for a practitioner's retreat a few years back. Bloom where you are planted, go where you are needed. Never doubt your purpose in this world filled with woe. What we say does matter, what we know will show others who no longer see the light within their souls. We have the power, we have the vision, we have a gift that God has given. Bloom where you are planted, go where you are needed. Know that you are blessed as you fill the world with hope. Everybody follow Marilyn. Here we go, second verse. There are none so blind as those who cannot see the light of God that shines within throughout eternity. If you cannot see that light within yourself, we are here to help you with the wisdom of our hearts. We see the truth, we hold the space until it can be seen by the seeker. So bloom where you are planted, go where you are needed. Know that you are blessed as you fill the world with hope. Happy Sunday.